morsels outside by sycamore tree, single a green willow, her head on her bosom, her head on her knee, sing willow, willow, willow. The fresh streams run by her and murmur among, sing willow, willow, willow. The salt is fell from her and soften the stone, sing willow, willow, willow. Ready, hidey, you come on, sing all the green willow must be my darling. Let nobody blame in this scorn I approve.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge. We missed last week, and this is our last Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge before Thanksgiving. Hoping people will have a good holiday. We'll do another one in 2 weeks. I'm going to be out of town for the holiday, and I imagine a lot of other people will be. So this will be the last one for November, but we're glad to I'm glad to be here with Maggie, John, Sheila, and Henry to do some impromptu Shakespeare performances for everybody here on YouTube to enjoy. So based on the randomly chosen order for who's going to go, we have Sheila is going to be our first monologue, followed by Maggie, who's on deck. So let me put Sheila in the stream and bring the wheel into, oops. Hello, Sheila.
Aloha.
Here's the wheel. Okay, so we're spinning for Sheila's monologue, and she's going to be doing Portia. You see me, Bassanio, where I stand. So this is just after Bassanio has chosen the correct box. Act 3, Scene 2, about 136 lines in.
Oh my goodness, okay. I'm locked in one of them. Okay, I'm still being locked. Okay, I'm unlocking. All right, I'm ready.
Okay, so...
You see me, Lord Bassanio, where I stand, such as I am, though for myself alone I would not be ambitious in my wish, to wish myself much better. Yet for you I would be trebled 20 times myself, 1,000 times more fair, 10,000 times more rich, that only to stand high in your account. I might in virtue, beauties, livings, friends exceed account, but the full sum of me is sum of something which, to term in gross, is an unlessoned girl, unschooled, unpracticed. Happy in this she is not yet so old, but she may learn. Happier than this she is not bred so dull, but she can learn. Happiest of all is that her gentle spirit commits itself to yours, to be directed as from her lord, her governor, her king. Myself and what is mine to you and yours is now converted. But now I was the lord of this fair mansion, master of my servants, queen o'er myself, and even now, but now, this house, these servants, and this same myself are yours, my lord. I give them with this ring, which when you part from, lose, or give away, let it presage the ruin of your love and be my vantage to exclaim on you.
Okay, very nice. Thank you, Sheila. Up next, we have Maggie, who will perform, and Henry is on deck to go after Maggie. And Maggie's going to perform. Benvolio, Tybalt here slain, speaking to the prince after the. I think this is one that I recently added to the wheel, and I think you're going to be the first one in Wheel of Shakespeare to do this one. It's a recently added one, so you're the first one to spin it. This is when the prince has just demanded what happened, and Benvolio speaks first before Lady Capulet. Have you found it? Oh, actually, I'm sorry, Maggie, you're muted. We can't hear. Oh, that's too bad. I'm checking on my end. I don't have you muted here, but we can't hear you. Is there something you can adjust? Okay. We'll come back to you, Maggie, and hope you can fix whatever issues you have with your microphone. Let's see. So Henry is next, and then I'm on deck after Henry. Well, hopefully Maggie will get her sound issues resolved while Henry is performing. But Henry is going to do. Nurse in Romeo and Juliet. Act 1, Scene 3, it begins with even or odd.
Okay, got it.
You ready?
Okay, got it. Yes. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Even or odd, of all days in the year, come Lammas Eve at night, shall she be 14? Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me. But as I said, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. That shall she marry. I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake now 11 years, and she was weaned. I never shall forget it, of all the days of the year upon that day. For I had then laid wormwood to my dug, sitting in the sun under the dove house wall. My lord and you were then at Mantua. Nay, I do bear a brain, but as I said, when it did taste the wormwood on the nipple of my dug, and felt it bitter, pretty fool, to see it tetchy and fall out with the dud. Shake, quoth the dove house, 'twas no need, I trow, to bid me trudge. And since that time it is 11 years, for then she could stand alone. Nay, by the rood, she could have run and waddled all about. For even the day before she broke her brow. And then my husband, God be with his soul, was a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, dost thou fall on thy face? Thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my holiday, the pretty wench left crying, and said, Ay, to see now how a jest shall come about. I warrant, and I should live 1,000 years, I never should forget it. Wilt thou not, Jewel? Quoth he. and pretty fool, it stinted and said, I.
Okay, great. So
That was a nice speech. I had never noticed that one before.
oh yeah. Okay, let's see if Maggie has got her microphone working.
I left it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh,
so.
good. Yeah, I left StreamYard and came back. And when I came in, it automatically had me muted, and I just turned it off. Okay, so
If you've got
ready when you are.
You can go ahead and start.
Okay. Tybalt, here slain, whom Romeo's hand did slay. Romeo that spoke him fair, bade him bethink how nice the quarrel was, and urged withal your high displeasure. All this uttered with gentle breath, calm look, knees humbly bowed, could not take truce with the unruly spleen of Tybalt, deaf to peace, but that he tilts with piercing steel at hold Mercutio's breast, who all is hot turns deadly point to point, and with martial scorn, with one hand beats cold death aside, and with the other sends it back to Tybalt, whose dexterity retorts it. Romeo, he cries aloud, hold, friends, friends, part! And swifter than his tongue, his agile arm beats down their fatal points, and twixt them rushes, underneath whose arm an envious Tybalt, from Tybalt, hit the life of stout Mercutio, and then Tybalt fled. But by and by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge, and to it they go like lightning, for ere I could draw to them apart, was stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth, or let Benvolio die.
Great. Great job breaking in a new monologue that was just added to the wheel. Glad they've added that, and Maggie did great with that. So it is my turn now, and then John, and then we will spin for scenes. So my monologue is going to be... Mistress Quickly is in Arthur's bosom. I've never done this one before. A couple people here have, but so this will be an interesting challenge. Let's see, it's in Act 2, Scene 3. Nay, sure, he's not in hell. He's in Arthur's bosom, if ever man went to Arthur's bosom. He made a finer end and went away, and it had been any Christian child. He parted even just between 12 and 1, even at the turning of the tide. Or after I saw him fumble with the sheets and play with flowers and smile upon his fingers' ends, I knew there was but one way. For his nose was as sharp as a pen, and he babbled of green fields. How now, Sir John, quoth I, what man? Be a good cheer. So he cried out, God, 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 3 or 4 times. Now I, to comfort him, bid him he should not think of God. I hoped there was no need to trouble himself with any such thoughts yet. So he bade me lay more clothes on his feet. I put my hand into the bed and felt them, and they were as cold as any stone. And I felt to his knees, and they were as cold as any stone. And so upward and upward, and all was as cold as any stone. Okay, that was interesting. Difference from anything I've ever done before. So our last monologue before we switch to 2 and 3 person scenes will be done by John. And he will do this is the one of the great monologues from Hamlet that is often forgotten. It's a great monologue, but it's usually cut for most productions, but it's a great monologue in its own right. So
okay. Four, right?
4, scene 4, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, whenever you're ready, go ahead.
How all occasions do inform against me and spur my dull revenge. What is a man if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? A beast, no more. Sure, he that made us with such large discourse looking before and after gave us not the capability and the godlike reason to fuss us unused. Now, whether it be bestial oblivion or some craven scruple of thinking too precisely on the event, a thought which, quartered, hath but one part wisdom and ever 3 parts coward, I do not know why yet I live to say this thing's to do. Sith I have cause and will and strength and means to do it, examples growth as earth exhort me, witness this army of such mass and charge led by a delicate and tender prince, whose spirit with divine ambition puffed make mouths of the invisible event, exposing what is mortal and unsure to all that fortune, death and danger dare even for an eggshell. Rightly to be great is not to stir without great argument, but greatly to find quarrel in a straw when honor's at the stake. How stand I then, that ever a father killed, a mother stained, excitements of my reason and my blood, and let all sleep? While to my shame, I see the imminent death of 20,000 men that for a fantasy and trick of fame go to their graves like beds, fight for a plot whereon the numbers cannot try the cause, which is not tomb enough and continent to hide the slain. Oh, from this time forth, my thoughts be bloody and be nothing worth.
Okay. Awesome. So great job, everybody, today with monologues. Let's now shift to scenes, and let's let the wheel decide what scenes we're going to do. Troilus and Cressida. Oh, perfect. We got 5 people, so it's good to get one scene that's 3. So I think we spun this one last week, but we had not the right number of players to make that work. So it's good that we spun it again. We'll do it now. So this is Troilus, Cressida, and Pandarus in Act 3, Scene 2. And then the other 2 of us will do Love's Labor's Lost, Armado and Act 1, Scene 2, Armado and Moth. Okay, so for the 5 of us, the 5 roles to choose from are 5 of us, and the 5 roles to choose from are Troilus, Cressida, Pandarus in that one scene, and then Armado and Moth. in Love's Labour's Lost, Act 1, Scene 2. So, John got the last turn with a monologue, so he gets the first choice amongst those 5 roles. John, what would you like?
I guess Pandarus.
Pandarus.
I guess, I don't know. Not sure.
And let's see, I'll take Troilus. Henry, what would you like?
Armado, please.
Okay, Henry will be Armado. Maggie, there's Moth or Cressida.
I'll try Moth.
Okay, Maggie will be Moth. And so that leaves Shelia to be our Cressida. So me, Shelia, and okay, so let's find that scene. Troilus, Cressida, and Pandarus.
Did somebody?
Act 3, Scene 2. Okay, so the scene starts with a boy. We're going to cut him. Where should we take this from? Okay, I guess we should take it from exit boy, and then it's just Pandarus and Troilus on stage. Cressida will come in later. Yeah. So let me put the banner for us. Okay, so we would start at, let's see, exit boy, exit boy, and then Pandarus says to Troilus, "Have you seen my cousin?" That's where we'll start from. Has everybody got that? Okay, so I'm going to remove Shelia from the stream just briefly because, Cressida's not in the scene when we're starting it. Okay, so whenever you're ready, John, start us off.
Okay. Have you seen my cousin?
No, Pandarus. I stalk about her door like a strange soul upon the Stygian bank, staying for waftage. Oh, be thou my Charon, and give me swift transportance to those fields where I may wallow in the lily beds, proposed for the deserver. O gentle Pandarus, from Cupid's shoulder pluck his painted wing, and fly with me to Cressida.
Walk here the orchard, I'll bring her straight.
I am giddy. Expectation whirls me round. The imaginary relish is so sweet that it enchants my sense. What will it be? That the watery palate tastes indeed love's thrice ruptured nectar? Death, I fear me, swooning destruction, or some joy too fine, too subtle potent, tune too sharp in sweetness. The capacity of my ruder powers, I fear it much. And I do fear besides that I shall lose distinction in my joys as doth a battle. When they charge on heaps, the enemy flying.
She's making her ready. She'll come straight. You must be witty now. She does so blush and fetches her wind so short, as if she were afraid with a sprite. I'll fetch her. It is the prettiest villain. She fetches her breath as short as a near-ta'en sparrow.
Even such a passion doth embrace my bosom, my heart beats thicker than a feverous pulse. And all my powers do their bestowing lose, like vassalage at unawares encountering the eye of majesty.
Come, come, what need you blush? Shame's a baby, and here she is now. Swear the oaths now to her that you have sworn to me. What, are you gone again? You must be wretched. You must be watched ere you may tame. Must you? Come your ways, as you draw backward will put you the thills. Why do you speak not to her? Come, draw this curtain, and let's see your picture. Alas the day, how loath you are to offend daylight, and 'twere dark, you'd close sooner. So, rub on, and kiss the mistress. How now? A kiss in fee farm? Build there, carpenter, the air is sweet. Nay, you shall fight your hearts out ere I part you. The falcon as the terso for all the ducks in the river. Go to.
You have bereft me of all words, lady.
Words pay no debts. Give her deeds. But she'll bereave you, owe the deeds too, if she call your activity in question. What? Billing again? Here's in witness whereof the parties interchangeably. Come in. I'll go get a fire.
Will you walk in, my lord?
Oh, Cressida, how often have I wished me thus?
Wished, my lord? The gods grant, oh my lord.
What should they grant that makes this pretty abruption? What too curious dreg espies my sweet lady in the fountain of our love?
More dregs than water, if my fears have eyes.
Fears make devils of cherubims. They never see truth.
Blind fear that seeing reason leads finds safer footing than blind reason stumbling without fear. To fear the worst oft cures the worse.
Oh, let my lady apprehend no fear. In all Cupid's pageant there is presented no monster.
Nor nothing monstrous neither?
Nothing but our undertakings. When we vow to weep seas, live in fire, eat rocks, tame tigers, thinking it harder for our mistress to devise imposition enough than for us to undergo any difficulty imposed. This is the monstrosity in love, lady, that the will is infinite, and the execution is confined, that the desire is boundless, and the act a slave to limit.
They say all lovers swear more performance than they are able, and yet reserve an ability that they never perform, vowing more than the perfection of 10 and discharging less than the 10th part of 1. They that have the voice of lions and the act of hares, are they not monsters?
Are there such? Such are not we. Praise us as we are tasted. Allow us as we prove. Our head shall go bare till merit crown it. No perfection in reversion shall have a praise in present. We will not name desert before his birth, and being born, his addiction shall be humble. Few words to fair faith. Troilus shall be such to Cressida, as that envy can say worse shall mock for his truth. And what truth can speak truest, not truer, than Troilus?
Will you walk in, my lord?
What? Blushing still? Have you not done talking yet?
Well, uncle, what folly I commit I dedicate to you.
I
thank you for that. If my lord get a boy of you, you'll give him me. Be true to my lord. If he flinch, chide me for it.
You know now your hostages, your uncle's word and firm faith.
Nay, I'll give my word for her too. Our kindred, though they be long ere they are wooed, they are constant being one. There are burrs, I can tell you, they'll stick where they are thrown.
Oh, boldness comes to me now and wrings my heart. Prince Troilus, I have loved you night and day for many weary months.
Why was my Cressida then so hard to win?
Hard to seem one, but I was won, my lord, with the first glance that ever, pardon me, if I confess too much, you will play the tyrant. I love you now, but not till now so much, but I might master it. In faith I lie. My thoughts were like unbridled children, grown too headstrong for their mothers. See, we fools, why have I blabbed? Who shall be true to us when we are so unsecret to ourselves? But though I loved you well, I wooed you not, and yet good faith, I wished myself a man, or that we women had men's privilege of speaking first. Sweet, hold my tongue, for in this rapture I shall surely speak the thing I shall repent. See your silence, cunning in dumbness from my weakness draws my very soul of counsel. Stop my mouth.
And shall, albeit sweet music, issues thence.
My lord, I do beseech you, pardon me. 'Twas not my purpose thus to beg a kiss. I'm ashamed. Oh, heavens, what have I done? For this time will I take my leave, my lord.
Oh, leave, sweet Cressida.
Leave, and you take leave tomorrow morning.
Pray you, content you.
What offends you, lady?
Sir, my own company.
You cannot shun yourself.
Let me go try. I have a kind of self resides with you, but an unkind self that itself will leave to be another's fool. I would be gone. Where is my wit? I know not what I speak.
Well know they what they speak, thus speak so wisely.
Perchance, my lord, I show more craft than love, and fell so roundly to a large confession to angle for your thoughts. But you are wise, or else you love not. For to be wise and love exceeds man's might, that dwells with gods above.
Oh, that I thought it could be in a woman. As if it can, I will presume in you to feed for aye her ramp and flames of love, to keep her constancy in plight and youth, outliving beauty's outward, with a mind that doth renew swifter than blood decays. For that persuasion could but thus convince me that my integrity and truth to you might be affronted with the match and weight of such a winnowed purity in love. How were I thus uplifted? But alas, I am as true as truth's simplicity, and simpler than the infancy of truth.
In that I'll war with you.
O virtuous fight! When right with the right wars, who shall be most right? True swains in love shall in the world to come approve their truths by Troilus. When their rhymes full of protest, of oath and big compare, want simile, is truth tired into iteration, as true as steel, as plantage to the moon, as sun today, as turtle to her mate, as iron to adamant, as earth to the center, yet after all comparisons of truth, as truth's authentic author to be cited, as true as Troilus shall crown up the verse and sanctify the numbers.
Prophet may you be. If I be false or swerve a hair from truth, when time is old and hath forgot itself, when water drops have worn the stones of Troy, and blind oblivion swallowed cities up, and mighty states, characterless, are grated to dusty nothing, yet let memory from false to false, among false maids in love, upbraid my falsehood, when they've said as false as air, as water, wind, or sandy earth, as fox to lamb, as wolf to heifer's calf, hard to the hind, or stepdame to her son. Yea, let them say, to stick the heart of falsehood as false as Cressida.
Go to a bargain made. Seal it. I'll be the witness. Here I hold your hand. Here's my cousins. If ever you prove false one to another, since I have taken such pains to bring you together, let all pitiful goers between be called to the world's end after my name. Call them all Pandarus. Let all constant men of Troiluses, all false women Cressids, and all brokers between Pandarus say, Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Sorry. Amen. Whereupon I will show you a chamber with a bed, which bed, because it shall not speak of your petty encounters, press it to death. away, and Cupid grant all tongue-tied maidens here bed chamber Pandar to provide this gear.
Okay, great. I don't think we've ever done this one before. I think so.
Oh, my Lord.
That is a real juicy one for you two. I mean, that's great. That's new to me too, but I really enjoyed you guys.
Oh.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so to wrap up the game for today, Henry and Maggie are now going to do Armado and Moth in Love's Labor is Lost. Have you both found where to start from?
I think so.
Let me create the banner
On the
and
top, that's right.
myself, and whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
Boy, what sign is it when a man of a great spirit grows a melancholy?
A great sign, sir, that he will look sad.
Why, sadness is one of the self-same thing, dearip.
No, oh Lord, sir, no.
How canst thou part sadness and melancholy, my tender juvenile?
By a familiar demonstration of the working, my tough signor.
Why a tough senior? Why a tough senior?
Why tender juvenile? Why tender juvenile?
I spoke it tender juvenile as a congruent epitheton appertaining to thy young days, which we may nominate tender.
And I, tough senior, as an appurtenant title to your old time, which we may name tough.
Oh, pretty and apt.
But how mean you, sir? And my saying apt, or I apt and my saying pretty?
Thou pretty because little.
Little pretty because little, wherefore apt?
And therefore apt because quick.
Speak you this in praise, master?
In thy condign praise.
I will praise an eel with the same praise.
What? That an eel is ingenious?
That an eel is quick.
I do say thou art quick in answers, thou heatest my blood.
I am answered, sir.
I love not to be crossed.
He speaks the mere contrary. Crosses love not him.
I have promised to study 3 years with the Duke.
You may do it in an hour, sir.
Impossible.
How many is one thrice told?
I am ill at reckoning. It fitteth the spirit of a tapster.
You are a gentleman and a gamester, sir.
I confess both. They are both the varnish of a complete man.
Then I am sure you know how much the gross sum of deuce ace amounts to.
It doth amount to 1 more than 2.
Which the base vulgar do call 3.
True.
Why, sir, is this such a piece of study? Now, here is 3 studied, ere ye thrice wink, and how easy it is to put years to the word 3 and study 3 years in 2 words. The dancing horse will tell you.
A most fine figure.
To prove you a cipher.
I will hereupon confess I am in love. And as it is base for a soldier to love, so I am in love with a base wench. If drawing my sword against the humour of affection would deliver me from the reprobate thought of it, I would take Desire prisoner, and ransom him to any French courtier for a new devised courtesy. I think scorn to sigh. Methinks I should outswear Cupid. Comfort me, boy, what great men have been in love.
Hercules, master.
Oh, most sweet Hercules. More authority, dear boy, name more, and sweet my child. Let them be men of good repute and courage.
Samson, master. He was a man of good carriage, great carriage, for he carried the town gates on his back like a porter, and he was in love.
Oh, well knit Samson, strong jointed Samson, I do excel thee in my rapier as much as thou didst me in carrying gates. I am in love too. Who was Samson's love, my dear Moth?
A woman, master.
Of what complexion?
Of all the four, or the three, or the two, or one of the four.
Tell me precisely of what complexion?
Of the seawater green, sir.
Is that one of the four complexions?
As I have read, sir, and the best of them too.
Well, green indeed is the colour of lovers, but to have a love of that colour, methinks Samson had small reason for it. He surely affected her for her wit.
It was so, sir, that she had a green wit.
Oh, my love is most immaculate, white and red.
Most immaculate thoughts, master, are masked under such colours.
Define, well-educated infant.
My father's wit and my mother's tongue assist me.
Sweet invocation of a child, most pretty and pathetical.
If she be made of white and red, her faults will ne'er be known, for blushing cheeks by faults are bred, and fears by pale white shown. Then if she fear or be to blame, by this you shall not know, for still her cheeks possess the same which native she doth owe. A dangerous rhyme, master, against the reason of white and red.
Is there not a ballad, the boy, of the king and the beggar?
The world was very guilty of such a ballad some 3 ages since, but I think now it is not to be found, or if it were, it would neither serve for writing nor the time.
I will have that subject newly written, that I may example my digression by some mighty precedent. Boy, I do love that country girl that I took in the park with the rational hind accosted. She deserves well.
To be whipped, yet a better love than my master.
Sing, boy. My spirit grows heavy in love.
And that's a great marvel, loving a light wench.
I say, sing.
Forbear till this company be past.
That was fun, Maggie. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, awesome. So great performances today, everybody. Enjoyed being with you guys. I hope everybody liked the show. Again, we got the holiday coming up. I'm going to be out of town, so we'll skip next week. But I look forward to seeing everybody in 2 weeks for the next round of the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge. And everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. Bye now.